I was shot several times and injured, and obviously a lot of my soldiers and stuff died. And I got shot into my hip, and it went through my glute into my the dead end of the spine. Yeah, so I have that bit missing here.
Yeah.
They said that basically the density of my muscle when I got shot and I flexed, you could see like on
Stop the bullet.
Yeah, it kind of like it slowed it down. Otherwise, it would have gone all the way through, and I definitely would be disabled.
La ilaha illallah, revert, I'm getting in routine. I walked out wearing a jewel, but no, this isn't in my jeans. From the streets to the Deen.
Assalamu alaikum, people. Welcome back to another episode of Streets to Deen. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, like, share, subscribe, all of that. Yeah, today is a very special interview, inshallah, with a very special introduction. My brother Dowie, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, so I'm going to bring the mic closer, okay. Yeah, so today we're the brother Z is going to interview my coach. He's also the coach of Andrew Tate. But more importantly, he's my coach. That's the main thing for me. That's the important one. That's the most important thing for me. Yeah, I don't think so. No. So he taught Amir has been in Luton for 25.
Since 99, yeah.
99, yeah. And in that time, he's also teaching me. He taught Andrew Tate to become amongst many other champions, a world-class kickboxer. So he taught him top-level stuff. But more importantly, he taught me how to go home. Okay. Now, if you know what that means, Amir knows what that means, okay, then that's okay. But if you don't, I'll explain quickly. If you get attacked outside on the street, in a real world, yeah, no ring, no ref, no tap-outs, no rules, there's a very strong possibility that only one of you is going home. This man taught me how to be the one that goes home. Okay, so that's what I have to. It's more important to me than a belt and a trophy and all of that. So inshallah, so that's just my my introduction of respect to my coach, and I'm going to hand him over into capable hands of Z. Inshallah, and I'm going to let them do. Yeah, so I'm going to move the mic over now. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I know. Inshallah.
Thank you, brother.
No problem, bro. Pleasure, man.
All right, brother Amir. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
How's it going? You alright? Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, good.
Okay, for those.
The new fresh trim, as you see.
Yeah, now you're looking sharp, mashallah. But for those who don't know you, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Amir Subasic. I run Storm Gym since 1999. We recently renamed it Storm Gym UK. We're based out of St. Peter's Church Hall on Dallow Road, just off Dallow Road, Harefield Road. And I kind of teach that martial arts since 99. That's it.
And what's your background? What's your ethnicity?
I was born 1971, long time ago, in a beautiful place in Bosnia, former Yugoslavia. I went there with like maybe 2-3 years to Germany, where I grew up, and I lived there for nearly 16 years.
In Germany?
Yes, in Essen, North Rhine-Westphalia, and I came basically back to Yugoslavia just before the war, as you do, and I went to Yugoslav Army, Special Forces, then obviously Bosnian Army, same Special Forces, and I was there during the war. Yeah. I wish it never happened, obviously, because we all lost a lot of family members. You know, I lost my father, my brother, lots of cousins, soldiers, everything. As you guys know, the genocide and massacres there and torture and rape were horrendous. Yeah, sorry. That was it was a very, very bad time.
Yes. And we'll definitely get into all of that, inshallah. But would you like to talk us through your childhood? You're saying you grew up mainly in Germany, so what was that like growing up in Germany?
Well, overall, you know, Germany is Germany. I kind of like Germany, you know, where you stand. Huh? They're quite it's a clean country, hard-working and so on. I obviously, I lived in kind of like a rough part. I had a bit of a bad luck with some locals were extremists. Got beaten up when I was like 5.5.
Okay.
They held me
when
under.
You say extremists, were they like skinhead?
Yeah, they were actually actual skinheads. Yeah, they had problems. You know, they beat my German friends up. Everyone, whoever is not with them. So it's like nationalism. You know, you're with them or against them, and it doesn't really matter religion, color, background, rich, poor, whatever. You just get beaten up. Yeah. So and then I saw some guys throwing each other. That's after I got beaten up the same night, and I went in and said, "Excuse me, I want to learn how to fight." They said, "Sorry, we don't teach how to fight," and kind of stuck to me because I said, we only teach self-defense. I said, well, look at me. Yeah. I was a bit lippy, obviously. But yeah, black eye nearly, and my nose was bleeding, and they were older than me, like I think 12, 14 and 16.
And how old were you at the time?
5.5, yeah. And so yeah, I go proper, but yeah, kick in the face, the whole lot. It was my first like wake up call to like reality, like and my love to martial arts, because and I said, look, we can teach me then how to defend myself. And I kind of started at night. I would just sat there because they called my mum obviously to come, and police came and the whole lot. They called one of them and blah blah. Anyway, long time ago. It is alhamdulillah.
But that's pretty intense, my bro. So
Yeah.
you're saying at 5 years old, you were beaten up by basically teenagers, 12, 15, 16-year-olds.
Yeah, 12, 14 and 16. That's what I later found out, because in Bosnia we don't know anyone anything. So basically, once I found out who they were, where they live, yeah, I went back for them.
Yeah.
Brick in the face, anything I could. So
Yeah.
and, that's kind of like one thing with me where it's the specificness of it, I guess. And yeah, then I started training really, and there was the beauty of it. So everyone together, didn't really matter. There was literally Turkish, Greek, Spanish, Germans, all together.
So where did you start training? Because you're saying initially the first club you went to, they said they don't teach you how to fight.
Well, yeah, no, they said we only teach self-defense. So I went like, look at me, I could just beaten up.
Yeah.
So, okay, we can teach you how to defend yourself, but not for you to go and fight. I said, I'm mommy's boy. I was always with my mom. Father was working out and so on, my mother is my number one. So I never went really, some people are trouble and this and that. I'm not like, literally just at home. Train, home, school, train, home, school.
Okay.
That's it. Way more train, really. I loved it, so.
Okay, so in terms of the martial arts that you started training, was it
Judo.
Variety? Judo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Judo, and because my father later got into like a sales job, so we moved a little bit around. We had troubles, obviously. Father was not, let's say, always there. And so anything from rough social welfare to worse places in that
Germany.
region. So it was really bad. Sometimes we had no food, no nothing, he wouldn't even come home for days and stuff. And anyway, everyone had their own way of dealing, I guess, with some stuff. And that taught me also, like, now to kind of recognize a lot of, because in my gym, I got some of them, the parents are separated. Lately we had an incident, one of the kids, the father had a heavy hand and stuff. Then louder. Then another one where the father like either is in jail or they're away and so on. So it's not the kids' fault. Kids are like a blank sheet. They're beautiful human beings for me. And when they come, I just literally all I see what I can do with them. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how to make them better and stronger and oh, totally. Yeah, like I'm very obviously because of all the military. We are known for discipline. Yeah. And I don't care if you're the richest man in the world, you bring your child and special treatment. You can't. You have to shout out the command loud. Some people think, oh my God, he's shouting my child. But that's not the issue. The issue is that when we are in a venue like World Championships, where there's 2,000 people in a hall, if he doesn't hear me, he will not do what I tell him to do. And he's my fighter. So if I tell him front kick, he has to exactly do it at that moment. And anyone who does martial arts and has a coach will tell you do exactly the same. Even if I say jab and I say they already recognize it. It's done before I finish. So kids train hard, focus, discipline. That's it, really.
So it sounded like even when you first started doing martial arts, you had a love for it, you had a passion for it. But I remember you said at 16. You then had to move back to Yugoslavia, so talk us through that.
First of all, we moved around in Germany, so I did judo, bit Wing Chun, kickboxing.
Were you actually competing?
No, the old days it was totally different. You could not train unless you fight. It's like training football but never go for a game. It's impossible. So, and it was great. It all also comes down to really great teachers. Like I went to gymnasium in Germany as well, and Hochschule and so on, and I had like a French teacher for a while, and she was horrible to everyone, and you kind of never got it. I had like some beautiful history or geography teacher, and they just literally, you felt like you are, let's say, in Persia or in the Roman Empire. It just made it so beautiful. So I was lucky to always have good teachers, and I like to think that I same way transferred. Then so we moved around, did loads of different sports. Obviously, always played football, and in Germany the physical education is quite intense, not like here.
Yeah.
You actually do an hour and a half, you sweat,
Okay.
you swim 2 times, 3 times a week. They do all kinds of sports, athletics, gymnastics, everything properly, football.
Yeah.
And if you're good, they take you in the teams and you keep on competing and so on. And there's no just taking part, it's winning. All about literally winning, you train hard.
Nice.
So we then moved back home. My father got very ill. He got a third taken out of his belly, so he literally retired when he was retired, like partial invalid rent with 38, I think. And then, so rather than spending all the savings over the years, we came back home. And, I started training there as well.
Okay.
In a martial arts called Budokai. It's like a Yugoslav system, invented as well by a brother called Dr. Amir Topic. My first coaches were Mensur Zlatic, and then later quite a few others, Safet Avdic, Kavga, one guy with boxing.
Yeah.
And so we trained really, and then, as you know, so I was only like 16. I only did about 2 odd years of school, and then I had to go military service. It was compulsory.
Yeah.
And that's another love of mine, really. I love all everything, structure, military. And if anyone will ask me, I'll tell everyone would have to go serve territorial army at least.
Yeah.
Not like go to war, don't get me wrong. That's
But
professional
just for the
army.
discipline, yeah.
But to learn some respect and discipline. You got too many youngsters. I don't know if you saw it lately, one of the survivors from the First or Second World War.
No.
Old men, and they all like jumping around like idiots. I mean, if that was my father, or if they got knocked out, so sorry, I would not have it. It's like no way.
Yeah.
And so there's a big gap is, and I like to think, Islamically, a lot of our kids are quite respectful, bit shy at times.
Yeah.
I don't think in a way they interact a lot. Sometimes you call it salam, they quite timid. They come in and nothing, or say hello.
So you're saying it's about having that balance, that discipline where you're confident to speak, but you're not arrogant or you're not too shy, kind of thing. Okay.
Well, look, if you are confident, many people, weak people, will call you arrogant,
Yeah.
Or if I have my opinion, you will not. I'm not trying to impose my opinion on you. I don't really care.
Yeah.
What you think, that's your opinion, and I can agree with you I will respect you for your opinion and sticking up for it, but not like you come and then try to impose it. I have to. No, I don't. So
of course.
we can touch on many topics really, and we can go on here for 10 hours. Trust me.
Yeah,
but I'm a man. I have my own brain and cells, as they say, and my own opinion, and I make my own opinion up, and no one's going to tell me. The green is like Tate said. The sky is green when it's blue, so it's not.
Of course.
Yeah.
But so you're saying at around 16, 17, you did voluntary service, right?
No, it's I was 18. Well, just about 18,
18,
in June. Yeah, so I became 18 in February, and in June I was already in the military.
And this was before the war, or
then it kind of started cooking. So I was in Slovenia, a bit in Croatia, and then literally we had to run all us non-Serbs had to basically, because how can I say this? Now imagine you live in the UK and all of a sudden the French are all over. No, they're here. They're literally in charge for everything. And you think, well, he's not English or Welsh or Irish or
Wait, so can you go back to that? So you're saying
with the Yugoslav army, it was a mixed army. So Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Macedonia, and Serbia.
Yeah.
So we were all one army, and it was a very strong army, very good army.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, it was way more because the war started in Slovenia, and then in Croatia, and then all the non-Serbs. So basically, anyone who was not Orthodox. There's all these volunteers coming in. You're a professional soldier. When you see someone from the street come up all dressed up thinking he's a Rambo or something, that's not the same. So anyway, a lot of... I luckily get out of it on time. Came then to, obviously, Bosnia. And then the war started there, within 2 months. And
what was the war over? What was the situation?
I always say nationalism. Because basically, if you look in history, on the Balkans... Look, I grew up in Germany, so I can see it a bit from... every side. Every 50 years there was a war in the Balkan. And if you all remember, the First World War started or Second, whichever one, because Gavrilo, the Serb, he shot the Prince Ferdinand in our capital. So it was chaos everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if you look at the maps of the Bosnian kingdom or the Serb kingdom or the Croatian kingdom, it moved non-stop.
Okay.
But then once it was set in Yugoslavia, let's say, this is our country now. And, well, but there's a lot of, because Bosnia is multicultural, so we are quite mixed. Majority is Muslim, like 39, I think around 30% is Orthodox, and then 19% or something like that is Catholics.
Yeah.
I all call them Bosnian Orthodox and Bosnian Catholics. They lived there for over 1,500 years.
Okay.
But they identify themselves as Croatians and Serbs.
Okay.
And which I personally don't like. So now, after the Dayton Agreement, we are Bosniaks. So only the Bosnians are Bosnians, but Bosniaks, which is like a new term on Bosnian. We always were Bosnian, and that's it. And they can be Serb, and the others can be Croatians.
Okay.
And for me personally, that's in a southern Bosnia, it's majority Croatians or Bosnian Catholics, and it's a problem, you know. And I have my own opinion on it as well.
Yeah.
The flag we fought for with the fleur de lis, the white, beautiful flag. The first king of it, there was the first flag of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and the first king was Kralj Tvrtko, a Catholic. He was Bosnian, and we as Bosnian Muslims fight for that flag. Nothing nationalistic, religious, or so on, but they fight for like neighboring countries' flags. So how can you live here 1,500 years? So that I never got to get that. So, and I guess that's where the nationalism, I guess, comes in.
Yeah,
it's quite strong, and they held on to some grudges from wars and stuff, and it's just like, and of course everyone has. I'm not saying I know it. Like this is just my own personal view, and I call it. Unfortunately, too many people died over it.
Yeah,
hundreds of thousands, and there's no need for it. You know, any war. When you look at the end of the war, I mean, you look at Iraq now. Yeah, over 1 million of people got killed.
Yeah, it's normally always the innocents that have the most deaths, man.
That's what I thought. I mean, I could have run away. I grew up in Germany.
Yeah,
you could have run away and go to Germany like many others did, and as well. But I felt like, well, wait a second, if we all run away, who's going to fight? And then plus I'm a trained soldier, and so
sorry to cut you, Amir, but because I just want to understand the situation at that time. So you're saying it was all these countries like Serbia, Bosnia,
Macedonia, Croatia, and Slovenia
was all under Yugoslavia.
Yugoslavia, yeah.
But then, what did Yugoslavia then dismantle?
Yugoslavia, fell apart.
So that's where the war
Slovenians
started.
were, because with Slovenia they're very close to Austria, so you can't do much there. And its majority is like Slovenians. Same, they tried a little bit. There's a lot of Serbs in or Croatian Orthodox, as I like to call them. Because look, if you live there for thousands plus years, let's say you're now from Pakistan, but you can't be from Pakistan in 1,500 years. You're British,
of course,
then,
of course.
or whatever, and so on. At least that's my opinion. And so all fell apart. Wherever there was a Serb majority, they fought hard, obviously, to take and claim the territory.
Claim
take
it
all
Serbia.
over. Yeah, same in because I think 80% of all the generals in Yugoslav army were Serbs. So when it all happened, they just like took everything. And look, it was all long time planned. They started taking stuff out. As I said, I jumped on a tank with the pistol and 3 bullets, which I found on actually next to someone's house. So we started our military in the Patriotic League with like us 3 now here in this road where you are now, and then some others we meet them, cousins, friends, whatever, or from this village. So that's how it grew.
So it wasn't even organized. You just you had to defend.
There was some sort of a little bit but it was all so cut out, because you have to understand, like, you know, you go to Bury Park, for example, it's majority Pakistani, Asians, Bengali, Kashmiris, whatever. So now imagine there is English and Scottish and Irish and Gypsies, and everyone else is there as well. So from, let's say, KFC to Nadim Plaza, you're going through 4 or 5 sites. So when the night falls, anyone's coming from that side, they're shooting. So in the morning, you again trying. It was really difficult. It was very not even disorganized. It was total chaos. You know, you had one of the 4th, 5th biggest military forces in Europe, and hitting you with everything. Again, you know, like, it's hard to explain. But I joined, obviously, with the Patriotic League, or resistance movement, as you call it, or whatever we call it, Patriotska Liga. And from there, we actually went to Croatia, collected some, literally like merciful giving, some gifts like in weapons, explosives, whatever we could get, I call it anti-tank mines and so on. So we then were the security for the whole transport to our region, which is northeast. We're the closest to Serbia, air miles like not even 10 miles in some parts. So we had 10.5 to 11,000 grenades per day for where I fought in Telchak, and the whole Podrinje, as it's called, where I come from originally. And so yeah, then the Patriotic League was formed. I don't know, we had like 200 of those, with the round old weapons, nothing new, like Kalashnikov would be like great. We didn't have nothing like that till later. I know there's like a lot of pictures around sometimes and videos, and I'm like, where the heck was this? Because I was fighting, and in the beginning we had nothing like that. Yeah. Like, it was really... And it started forming, then someone said, you're commander, let's say in Bury Park. Yeah. I'm in Stopsley.
So what was the aim of the Patriotic Front? What was the aim? Was it just to keep the borders, or was it to just
pure
defend?
Survival? Look, they came into the Yugoslav army with tanks and everything in every village and driving armed vehicles and going, don't worry, go to your homes, we won't do you nothing. And then the second wave, literally within days, it was all the volunteers and their special forces where they gathered all the men. Everyone knows about Srebrenica, yeah, but we lost way more people in the whole region there, like way more. Yeah. There's mass graves even now being found. My father was found in one of them after 11.5 years. So it was basically pure survival. Yeah, you couldn't, wherever you could resist a little bit and fight, and then it started kind of like forming a bit of so-called military. And with the Patriotic League later, so they started coordinating it more and growing, because obviously some people still run away. Some got murdered, so many got murdered. I mean, boys, kids, it didn't really matter. Pregnant women, daughters were raped in front of the parents. It's horrendous. And the worst thing, again, for me, independently, like, you can't actually, they're trying to put us like in the same, like, how, where? So where's all your mass graves then? We are such evil Muslims or Mujahideen, whatever they called us, or dirty Turks. I'm not Turkish. It's because they ruled it 500 years. I don't care about Turkey. You know what I mean? You took all me. So, like, let's say you're black, I call you African or something in a war. You're not in Africa, you're here. You're born here. But you're just saying, I know what you're saying. Your 10 generations were never in Africa, so they are. It's like they're holding that grudge against Turkey or something. And I'm like, and you only basically got, because we were rich. All the lands, we had everything. Okay. And they're just greedy, they took everything. I mean,
it was basically, like you're saying, it was a land grab kind of thing. When Yugoslavia
and they wanted big Serbia again, like they used to have it. Okay. And it was a good, look, strategically, it's a great moment. Huh? The country's in a turmoil. They had all the military behind them. They're probably telling, we'll take everything. But logically, Yugoslavia, the military was so strong because everyone was in it. And our territorial army, the idea was 24 million population. Out of that, 20 million know how to fight. So I don't care which military you send. You can send Chinese, for example, they got 20 million soldiers in. So 20 million will die. Because everyone can shoot. We have it in high school. They all know how to lay. Like, it's a proper, it's called territorial army. It's a whole subject, and defense and whatever. Defense and protection. It's different. And the system was different, but also, yes, it was kind of like the brand is communist, but it wasn't like that. Egypt, India, and Yugoslavia were the only non-pact countries. So they were not Warsaw Pact or NATO Pact. Okay. And that's it. And which is kind of like a different issue again in a topic probably. But so they basically was pure survival. You didn't even know. Look, I had no clue where my family is. So later, luckily somehow I called someone said, I saw your mum yesterday here, like in a different town, like in London, South London. And so I called her. So she luckily came with the last bus before the whole place was kind of shut off. And my third brother was in 2 concentration camps. My father was killed. He turned him over, like you're only 15, 16, he's a big guy, like 6'2". And my other brother got killed, he as well. My second brother, he was a big guy, young, but, so they, my brother had to literally take his ring off the beating and then threw him down a river as a 16-year-old. They hit him with the pistol in the face and they wanted to cut his finger off because he had a little ring, nothing like but they're robbing, cleaning out like so much. Jeez. I mean, people were giving everything and still got murdered. So, and then all the schools and the different factories, you're talking about torture rape, the whole lot. I actually just shared something, was it 2 days ago on my wall,
Yeah.
and or 3 days, and it's basically from my area where there was a little region where there's like a little gypsy village. They all got killed, just one son survived, and his 13-year-old sister was raped by all those Serbs in front of everyone before they killed everyone. So when you hear that, and that's nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had, it's really, it just goes too much, you know.
Nah,
It's like a really heavy subject, and
Yeah.
and I don't like talking about it too much. Sometimes
No,
it
of
brings
course.
like bad memories, and it's a hard thing to think that and you look, in the first year, everyone knew what's going on. You know, satellite, they can listen to us now apparently or see us on the road
Yeah.
whatever, but it was okay. And then with the Dayton Agreement, our president was forced to sign it because we had to give territory back.
Yeah.
We literally gave back. So it's crazy how it works out. Now the aggressors, the people that killed so many people, are 51% of our country,
Yeah.
and 49 is the federation between Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Catholics or Croats. And like in there, they have the Croatian from the neighboring country, the money system, the flags are all over, wherever they are, the majority, they have their own everything. Which, don't get me wrong, it's okay that if you, let's say, like if it's cricket, there's only, everyone puts Indian, whatever, Bengali flags out and stuff, but then to have actually, let's imagine now you have a Bengali or Pakistani part here, and it's Pakistani flags, Pakistani money, Pakistani language, Pakistani literature for children to teach. That's not right in a different country, you know. So
Yeah.
it's very hard, political situation. We got three presidents, 3 days, 3 days.
What, now?
Yeah, always. They literally can't agree on anything, and they're all corrupt as well. Unfortunately, it's very difficult. You know, like our people would be happier with even like £100 a month extra, like literally just this 200 in local currency.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
you know what it is, Amir? Because I don't want to what's it called, delve too much in if you don't feel comfortable talking about it. But when you're talking about the war, when you're talking about the carnage that you saw, the rape, the murder, everything like that, coming from sitting where I'm sitting, you know, like obviously being raised in Britain and the West and stuff, I couldn't even comprehend that.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, in our day and age, we hear about, you know, people who are depressed, and you know, the youth, depression and like mental health is a very big thing nowadays in this society. But then hearing you speaking about such brutal stuff, I'm thinking, you know what I mean? I probably would have gone crazy, man. So how did you keep it together? How was you able to?
Well, for me,
survive,
mainly
kind of
really
thing?
faith and my mother, as I said, it's what the old people teach you.
Yeah.
Be good, don't cheat, don't lie, don't steal, don't obviously kill, don't rape, don't do stuff like. I mean, I captured villages or our units. We were there. We could have literally raped half the town, killed everyone. But you don't do that.
Yeah.
You do the same what they do, then you're the same.
You're the same.
Don't
as
come
them.
then like, you know, and that's how I look at it. So it was way more kind of structured. But, and then on the other hand, you had no time to think. It's like in Teochak, for example, where I was fighting for one while, it was 10,500 to 11,500 grenades per day, every day. So now think about it, for 2, 3, 4 years, it's non-stop. And if you get shot, they have to fight out to bring you out and carry you probably from the first mountain about 6 to 8 hours to the first road. That's how it's a jungle.
So there was no time to worry. There was no time to panic.
And then again, to be honest, I think we don't have so much you know, the post-war syndrome and stuff. There's some people that a little bit, but then it's also connected with other stuff. A lot of people are really poor; they have nothing, you know, and it's hard.
Yeah.
You have children, you can't pay nothing for them. There's non-stop like aid back home, helping.
Yeah.
Build a house, pay for surgery, and the usual stuff really. And but like I like to say, for me personally, like literally, religion played a big part. I'm not like walking around like and pretending to be, let's say, a big Muslim at heart, and Allah Joshan, who knows what's there and how, and you can do or say what you want. If you're not a good person, if you cheat on a scale or you know, whatever you do,
Allah
like
knows,
it's not right. So and then I looked at it like this as well. I had to again, all the old people, you know, my neighbors, they cut his ears off, man. It's like he doesn't hear. He can't hear you, you know, properly. It's like how you call it, deaf.
Yeah.
So he cut his ears off. Made him eat it. Like one of my other neighbors.
They made him eat his own ear.
Oh yeah. They made father on son, son on father, or whatever, perform stuff. So it's hard to go into that bestiality, really.
Yeah.
And there's even worse stories. And you think sometimes when you look at those people, then so I don't think like that. I was shot several times and injured, and obviously a lot of my soldiers and stuff
In
died.
the front line kind of
Yeah,
thing.
well, I was never like on the line because of special forces, so
Okay.
you are behind attacking or whatever, fighting, yeah.
How many times have you been shot in total, would you say?
Well, officially we call it like when we say shot, it's like if you stay over a month in hospital, so about 5-6 times.
5-6 times.
Yeah, the very first time, I was like probably, I was all like black on my side.
Yeah.
A bullet through my hip into my spine. I got bullet here, over my ribs, my leg, but look, again, alhamdulillah, I don't know, somehow through. Also, I have to say that martial arts always helped. When I got shot into my hip and it went through my glute into my the dead end of the spine. Yeah, so I have that bit missing here.
Yeah.
They said that basically the density of my muscle when I got shot and I flexed, you could see like on
Stop the bullet.
Yeah, it kind of like it slowed it down. Otherwise, it would have gone all the way through, and I definitely would be disabled. And yeah, for the first 3 days, didn't feel nothing. Was all like dead. And then like third day, obviously because
Start getting better.
swelling. Yeah, the back was like this much swollen. So yeah, look, I got operated on those aluminium tray that you drive in. Actually, mind you, a few years back, my mum was not well, and I went to the same hospital. That same tray is there because I broke off the corner. So it's aluminium bar around, and then the inside is like not like a plywood similar style, but so they cut no morphine on. You had to give it to the guys that were blown to literally no leg. My second brother got shot, 2 bullets in the stomach and 98 wounds. So it's an RPG next to him and like a little bomb on the leg. So it was full left side was. I go, yeah, we got them. I shoot, so I lifted up, and they put the white sheet on him. It was just red, and like so you know what I mean. There was people way worse, and then you give them to have you don't even take the painkillers, they get them. Because we didn't have anything. People have to understand. The first year we were surrounded. We had there's no help. No one sent nothing. So you had to make even at the end in the second corps Northeast Division in a town. There's a chemical factory. They do the detergent and stuff.
Yeah.
They did their own gunpowder and explosives. You have to the whole industry change because no one is sending you anything.
Yeah.
So when people go, brothers went there or whoever, so and so send aid and it goes to Croatia and then from there, let's say 100 trucks maybe. Few arrive, and because it goes through the whole country, everyone takes everyone takes everything, and then by the end you get next to nothing. And what's one truck going to do? I trucked it first time after 3 odd years. When my little brother was 3.5, so I brought it for him.
Yeah,
It's carry like sometimes 150, 200 kilos, over 50 miles. If I don't, they have nothing to eat.
So I just wanted to bring it back to something you said, Amir, when you said going through all that madness and all that chaos. 2 things that kept you strong was your mother and your faith, Islam. How big was the role that Islam played in keeping you sane or keeping you going throughout all this madness, throughout all this
carnage? In short, we all know that everything is from God, from Allah.
Yeah.
So who are we to judge anyone? Make jokes about. I'm not really a big fan. I'm quite funny. I like to think and make a lot of jokes and stuff, but like in serious situation that we are no one to judge anything.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, and of course because of the military training, you have to live, you have to go on. And then bring us back a little bit to what you said earlier, a lot of people depressed. They're not doing enough then. Get up, do something.
Yeah.
Move, join a club. Do something, do some press-ups.
Yeah.
2,000 press-ups, then you'll see how you're going to sleep at night. And also with this new world now, we're all plugged in literally. It's non-stop attention span, even with the kids I know. Like now, I'm here now 20 odd years, so the kids before, 45 minutes easy, full attention. Nowadays, even with some of the fighters, 10, 15, 20 minutes, they're like all over, and this is how it is. So you have to adapt. If you don't adapt, you stay where you are. It's like walking in circles. Sooner or later, you're just going to dig yourself your own grave, isn't it?
No, of course.
And of course, all the leaders were very... and look, you have to also understand that Yugoslavia, a fourth of it, or 6th, 4 million something Muslims lived in former Yugoslavia, but we had no identity. So, because Yugoslavia was kind of communist, so you could only, if you're Muslim, which means you can't pray, no Al-Fatiha on
in Yugoslavia, you weren't allowed to pray.
For example, you couldn't.
Okay.
If you do, so if you're not a communist, you can't get the top jobs. You can't be a teacher. So a lot of our people were just farmers.
Yeah.
You know, they had a lot of land and everything, wealth confiscated and stuff, and it was really hard from what I understood. So, and because I remember from my granddad, like, no, he didn't want to. He's not communist, so he couldn't. He didn't want to do this and do this. Oh, okay, then you have to go there. Okay, I'll go there, but I'm not changing. And
you're not changing.
And
your
but
faith.
of course, a lot of people also did. You know, it was hard. Otherwise, imagine. So I understand a little bit. It was very hard. And then I think 1972, as far as I remember, the Muslim national question was raised. Oh, sorry, we're like a sixth of this country. We fought in all wars. We contributed. In medieval times, our knights were one of the best in the world. And I think there are some even settled in northeast Africa.
Yeah.
They took loads of the land down there. So there's like, I think somewhere in Eritrea, around that area, Ethiopia, you got a lot of Bosnian Muslims from the Middle Ages there.
No way.
And you got kids with freckles. Bosnia, you have to understand, like my father was dark, my mom was like reddish hair, stroke brown light. And then for my father's family, they're all like dark brown and brownish. And on the other side, they're all like white.
Yeah.
And then you have the ones that are very dark. And then you have, it's very, so
mixed.
As Bosnians, they're all, because the basin of the Balkan is like this. So they're like Southern Slavs talking historically. And then like, it was non-stop, man.
Yeah.
Like so, and obviously then the Ottomans ruled for around 500 years.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave some sort of, which is obviously a different topic, but then obviously with Islam and stuff, a lot of them converted, stayed Muslims, and that's it, really.
Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to move on from that to then when you came to England, right? But just to conclude, so how long did the war last for?
Depends for who, you know, like the agreements were signed like kind of early, but it still went on back and forth for a long time.
Yeah.
Look, in some parts, people are still getting killed. You just don't hear about it. Like everywhere, you know, like.
But for you personally, so
yeah, for
how
us,
long were you
I was
fighting
like
for?
about 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
All together. And then I came here in 99, literally.
So you came straight from...
Kind of like, well, I got out of the military in 1998 officially.
Okay.
December. And that's it, yeah.
Well, you just thought you'd paid your dues, you'd done enough.
It's a different topic.
Okay.
I can't like discuss it publicly, but basically it's not something... I would have liked. I loved the military, you know. So it just literally it was an end of an era, and that's it, really. And I had my club there as well in Bosnia with a lot of world champions.
Oh, really?
Listen, the kids trained in Boeing. I taught in a garage, so and a lot of my students now are grown-up men, politicians.
So even then, you were training like
of course,
martial arts.
Well, you have to also train units, and you know, as commander too, officer. So you have to do a lot of stuff. It was like. You know, like sometimes when you think, oh, your hard day is hard, they have no clue what hard means. Just think even about the countries where you guys come from.
Yeah.
I saw some guy in Pakistan, he's 68, carrying flour, 100 kilos from some place to the bakery, and the guy gave him a little bit of money. I was so annoyed, actually. I remember sending it to some of the Pakistanis. Do you know where this old man is?
Yeah.
I want to send him some money.
Yeah.
The guy gave him just some, I don't know how much money.
Yeah.
Anyway. And but no bread, or you know, it's a bakery. Man, give him some bread.
Yeah.
So he went to the market, bought the food. That's all they ate. Him, his wife, and 2 kids, I think. And they were not like that big, the kids either.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, and stuff like that really annoys me. You know, it's.
I understand, man.
Kids were brave. You know, the whole town gets bombed. Now imagine you come. I taught, let's say, like where on that side of the town, for example. Let's say where Tesco's is, and you come all the way from Stopsley. You run through the whole town that gets bombed non-stop. So my kids were very brave, but there was one way out of something, a little community, and plus again with martial arts. And I like to, you know, think Touchwood, they're all good. They're all grown up, they're great.
Yeah.
You know, like even like here, like some of the little kids, I got now 3rd, 4th generation coming. Nice. You know, so and that's what it's all about. So, you know, like it's all about good people.
Yeah.
And being good.
Yeah.
And then they did well, alhamdulillah. I'm proud of all of my students.
So you're saying in 1999, that's when you moved over to England. Okay. And you came straight to Luton, or
yeah. Came straight to Luton, lived in Barton Hills.
Did you know anyone here before you moved? Or
Well,
you?
my ex-wife.
Okay.
And I always joke now with them when they tell them all the young guys never get married. No, it's okay. Again, it's part of life, you know. Like it works, doesn't work. Anyway, so I lived in Barton Hills for a long time. I lived kind of like all over Luton. Now I'm like behind the police station, that area. Lived everywhere really, and so.
And what was the change like? So coming from war, coming from all that. Coming to England.
The first
Luton,
day actually was quite funny. We were out in London and someone must have thrown those bang things, you know, just bang.
Oh, okay, the poppers, yeah.
I was literally on the floor and looking left, right, and center. Then I got up quickly because I realized, and then my friends were laughing so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no longer war here. I said, yeah, you can say what you want. But,
Yeah.
you were a little bit still like paranoid because you don't know, like you're still in that.
Your surroundings.
With like a meteorite, you know, like if it would stop everything, that the tail will still come with it, you know.
Yeah.
So it was like that, and then like any noise, you wake up. And for many years, I'm a light sleeper anyway. So obviously, when you're long time in the military, you always especially special forces, you don't sleep much.
Yeah.
They drill you non-stop, wake you up when you think finally resting. Let's go. Yeah. Stuff like that. Anyway, started training in London. With Winston Fraser, Thai boxing. Went around a few places, obviously. And then in Luton with Jim McIver originally, and then Drill Hall, the old Hightown Recreation Centre. And that's kind of like where Storm was found, 99, 1st of February. And I first trained with him a little bit, but he used to call me out to demonstrate.
Yeah.
And he didn't like big groups, bless him. So then all the people started coming, and then I started after 3 lessons my own.
Your own gym?
Yeah, my own gym. And I had, remember, first time I was 23, and then was 170 or something. I just used to have a bucket, so I used to put in whatever it was, 2 pounds or 3.
Yeah.
And that's it really. And then since then, I like to think we are. No, I don't like to think. I know we are we are actually the most successful sports entity in town.
Yeah.
And because many, and again, it's not even arrogant or anything. You can put most of the gyms and clubs and everything together.
Yeah.
Like I don't hear any more world champions coming out on a yearly basis since '99 than like out of my gym. So I don't know that many, if any, really.
Yeah. No, I mean rightfully so, because before the interview we were saying how many world champions have come out from
just
Storm
from last year, 1st of September, since we're in this church hall. I think 90 or 21.
21 world champions.
20 world titles, yeah.
And is that all kickboxing, or is that
kickboxing, Thai boxing, yeah.
Kickboxing and Thai
boxing.
boxing.
I used to teach. I'm the first fighter in this town to fight full Thai rules, and MMA, and as well as kickboxing professionally. There was other gyms here, but they didn't fight pro. I never fought like this amateur or semi-pro like what they now have.
Yeah.
Like to build them up. It was always professional.
Yeah.
And even low kick, as it was called then. In the beginning I could kind of fight, like I didn't have still the citizenship and no work and stuff, so I was free.
Yeah.
I liked it.
And that's one thing I wanted to ask you, because there is a lot of gyms and there is a lot of coaches and trainers out there, even in Luton.
Yeah.
What would you say separated you from the rest? What would you say made you be able to develop world champions? Do you know what I'm saying?
First of all, like all the gyms in Luton and surroundings that work hard, I always respected everyone, regardless, and fair play to all of them. Because even if you get one kid or one student off the streets and you can have him there rather than hanging around corners, it's good.
Of course,
and alhamdulillah, in that case, because it's better the kids train. Nowadays there's so much school, study. There's no physical balance. And obviously play football, they can't do this. Play rugby, they can't tackle. Play cricket, soon they're going to take the wicket away, isn't it? Then there's no cricket. So do martial arts, no head count. No this. So, but then like you can fall and break in the kindergarten, on the playground, anyway, anything. So they kind of like
making them soft.
You make it so soft, and so fair play, and they all work hard. I know all of them, everyone, literally.
And what was your secret sauce, though? What was?
Well, I like to think it's me. It's obviously the Balkan mentality.
Okay.
Coupled with obviously all my ex-military, and look. Excuse the viewers, as I say, if you shoot, I tell you in your face. There's no beating around the bush. Don't come to me. I want to be a UFC fighter. You don't even train at all, and you're telling me what you're going to be. I'll tell you what you're going to be. And so in
But
that
then
respect,
what do you mean by that? Sorry, like,
well,
if
like
someone
let's
comes
say you
in-
come training, go, yeah, bruv, you know, I want to train
Yeah.
like that. He talks to me like, what do you mean, bruv? I'm not your bruv. or you know, like they
Yeah.
talk to you like they don't know you for 100
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
and they expect you to do so much for them. Like, nah,
Yeah.
man. And I'm a bit old school there. As we always joke, if I see your ugly face long enough, it's really good looking, and then it changes. Yeah.
Okay,
So it's like,
okay.
so you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You can't expect someone, you go somewhere and then they, but then there's a lot of times they'll say you train with him in his gym. He goes, yeah, you're amazing, you're great. Then you come to us and it's a big shock. You get beaten up by children,
Yeah.
and like juniors,
Yeah.
literally dropped. And there's fighters and stuff that get beaten up by my juniors, like left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And like you think, oh my god,
Different level.
yeah, it's totally different level, you know. And as I say, when it's the fan, it goes everywhere. But yeah, I like, look, it's discipline and focus. You can't.
Yeah.
All my fighters that put in the hard work, they made it, and I can name so many. But like it's a lot of commitment,
Yeah.
and you can't just like do it part time. Then you're wasting my time and your time.
And that's what I wanted to ask. You know, when you're saying that if you're bad, you're bad.
Yeah.
But would you say what differentiates a good fighter from a bad fighter is, like you say, commitment and dedication, or
Discipline.
is it?
You can come down and train, but if you don't
Yeah.
put everything in,
Yeah.
you're not training.
But what about talent? Do some
Talent,
guys
nah,
come and they've got
To be
talent?
honest, I had way more talented fighters than many of my world champions.
Nah.
Like way more. I'm phenomenal. I can't explain you how good. But no discipline. No
So hard work beats talent.
Yeah, anytime. That's
Okay.
That's why the old slogan, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you touched up on him. That was going to be the next topic. One of your most, if not your most famous champion, our now brother in Islam, Andrew Tate. Can you talk us through the first time he walked into that gym? Did you see potential in him, or you know he had to build that?
Actually, bless him. In the beginning, he was well, like we just used to beat everyone up, you know. So, but he kept on coming back.
Okay, so
And,
you, because he said this in previous interviews that
I don't remember that.
you
bro.
lot just bullied him.
I
Basically.
would never hit him. Yeah, well, you know, some call it
Yeah.
bullying. If I pass next to you,
No, I'm joking, I'm
I always
joking,
low
yeah.
kick you because it's conditioning. After
Yeah.
when you get low kicked a bit harder, let's say by me or anyone,
Yeah.
and then like the first time it might be
Hurt.
like, let's say from 1 to 100 is 100.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my god, it's really painful.
yeah,
Second time is 99.999, but it's nearly 100, and you go, oh my god, it's still painful.
Mm.
And after a while, when you come down to 15, 20, and I mean, boys or girls, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And after a while, they're so conditioned.
conditioning. Yeah,
And I go always back to the Japanese kind of like samurai sword,
Mm.
the katana. It's not, they don't hammer it when it's done.
yeah,
You go tap, 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 tap. So you go folded over, then and hours, days, months. So that's why you shoot the bullet and the bullet splits. Anything else, you shoot a bullet more or less, and it breaks the steel, correct?
Yes.
So it's like that, you know, and like, you know, take a low kick, shin block, like in training.
Yeah.
And with Andrew, it was basically his dedication to it, isn't it? The discipline. You could tell straight away on him, you know, like
Serious.
we obviously clicked, you know, Isa knows I don't like people to talk too much. Don't talk when you're training. If I didn't ask you something, why are you talking?
Yeah.
Or you talking, not working. I got much softer now, apparently, yeah. Yeah, now you can talk and work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a bit different because I was fighting as well. And then, you know, a lot of fighters, we had like 60, 70 fighters, man. It was like, it was non-stop. I mean, even to recent 2019, I went to 89 shows with the kids and adults and everyone. You know, I don't know, 10 gyms that go to 30 shows a year, let alone that many. Anyway, he trained hard. You know, you could see that he wants to.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes more important than him being good.
Okay.
Because at that time, there was way more talented. Andrew has that height and it's different build.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people will say for Storm, they're all tough and they all come to fight. And that's one of our main traits, really. And they are very well versed, that they are fighters.
Yeah.
I have no allegiance to no style. And it's one of my famous quotes. I love combat. So
Okay.
if I look at you, I know what I can make out of you. And to make you ready to fight anyone, anywhere, anyone, any style, anytime.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, there was no like, oh, I just do MMA. It was you fight low kick, full contact kickboxing, boxing even, Muay Thai, MMA, K1, whatever. K1 came later.
Yeah.
So you just fight, and that's how it was.
Yeah. So I just wanted to take it back. So obviously, with someone like Andrew Tate, when he first came in, do you see a champion when someone walks into the ring into your club? Do you look at him like, yeah, he's going to be a champion, or does he have to prove or earn that sort of
not straight away.
thing? Okay.
It's kind of gradually built, but you can see that someone is they're trying really hard straight away, and even if they can't do it, you kind of, that's what you respect in me as a military person. Like, you come to infantry training is different to when you move up to special forces.
Yeah.
Totally. So and he stuck to it. He kept on coming back. Got him improving non-stop, you know. And good thing with Tate, he has a very high IQ, and he learned so quickly.
Yeah.
And then like me and him, then obviously he started doing some PTs with me early. He worked all night, obviously carrying fish and ice, and then we met in the morning, early morning, 5:30 training.
Yeah.
They used to time him to run home. Yeah. I used to be behind Barnfield College on the last, when you drive down, on the last little roundabout. The Barnfield College by the B&Q or whatever, home base in up the A6, So he lived in Marsh Farm, so he had to run home from there. Yeah. And then obviously trained at night.
So you used to train twice a day?
Yeah. And then made him train.
Yeah.
So then the first fight, you could tell, you know, again, precision beats everything. He was really good. And I gave it the name King Cobra because he's tall, he stands like very... And, you know, I kind of find it a little bit like that, but like if it suited him. So he could literally, you go swing for him, he's standing there, but him leaning back, but the guns are staying there. Yeah. And then just talk. And he was very good, as obviously the record says. And look, Andrew got to a stage where he was the best fighter in the world at 85 kilos and then later at 90. Yeah. And like one of the best in the world. 85 at one stage in kickboxing, there was no one, you know. And then a bit luck and stuff also, like... For the big fights, like with some of the glory fighters, the politics involved, and it's hard, you know, when you come, from like a nowhere, and then all of a sudden you're someone, and he did well. And I mean, look, his the way he trains, he was always working, training, working, and you know, he trained about 6 hours a day, sometimes more. Yeah, I mean, we used to sometimes spar from like 2 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the morning, from 8 o'clock. So you know, like.
That's dedication, man.
You can't beat that. And even nowadays, like I saw him recently, and in summer, like I think he was literally 8 hours just on the computer, flat out. Just goes a bit in his little gym, pump, does something, coffee, water, you know. Yeah.
So you're saying from when you've known him, he's always been like that. Whatever he sets his mind to do, he's focused, he's dedicated,
and he stuck to his guns as well. He was never one like to. He doesn't talk much normally. He didn't, like when he was a bit younger. Later, more and more. Obviously, from us, it was more like we're on a mission, so not too much talking. Come, wrap his hand, prepare his hand. Yeah. Get him and start working. Pads, sparring, bag work, rest, whatever it was, you know, like. Okay. Just like,
So you see this relationship you and Andrew Tate had, was this beyond most of your other fights kind of thing? Because like you said, you even got into business together, so you had a relationship outside of fighting.
Yeah, it was very special. Look, like, you know, like, I was a bit like his second dad, really, like a big role model, and like, I like to think that I contributed to a lot of the stuff, which obviously he says as well.
Yeah, no, he mentions you a lot.
So, and vice versa, I always mention him as well. Yeah. And I had loads of great fighters as well. They didn't, some of them, they were as, let's say, commitment, right, everything, vice, everything, like Andrew. They were there, and then actually they stopped at some stage. But Tate was going till he was going, and then boom, you know, like.
I just wanted to bring it back to Islam a little bit, and I had a few more questions on your relationship with Andrew Tate, because I know a lot of the viewers would want to hear it from you specifically. But the first thing is, alhamdulillah, he reverted to Islam. He became Muslim.
Yes.
Is that something that surprised you, or did you always used to tell him about Islam? Like,
not really. Andrew is very, as I said again, is a very clever man, genius really, and he understands logically very much what's going on, and as you can tell how he talks and speaks, he always respected Islam. Obviously, look, we used to all eat after every fight show, al-bilal. Loads of his friends were Muslims, and everything. So you know, like, again, he's a Luton boy too. Yeah, and obviously, I like to think Islamically, what I held that I'm a good man and a good person, and I was always there for him. So I never cared. Oh, Amir, can you come to? Yeah, of course. I never, like, he helped me even like doing when all this lockdown was and all the crap, and
Yeah.
never did like really, didn't have to ask him, or the main thing is he's a good person, and he helps so many more people. Generally, like, it's the stuff that you don't talk, like with many in a way celebrities.
Yeah.
You find out like people like whatever they paid millions towards this and that, and they're not bragging about it. Like some of
Yeah.
those videos where they give food.
Yeah.
They make 20 grand, but they give £1,000 away, and then it's good to give. But yeah, but like he actually mentioned as well, and we worked together. Look, we suffered, we won, we lost, we got injured. We were there, like. Look, he's like obviously I'm much older than him. But to be honest, my mom gave birth to me when she was 15 and 4 months, so I'm only 16 years older than Tate is. Yeah, and then that in that respect, so I'm like, I could be literally like his second dad in that respect, and I like to think that I contribute to something. Regardless, anyways, I'm happy for him.
Of course,
and inshallah, he will. It just can grow, isn't it, from here?
Yeah.
It's stable, and then there's no variations or deviations and stuff as such. So just clear path, and he always knew what he wants. That he's very clever.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I try to tell sometimes people, you can, when you're a bit more clever, it's all much faster and easier.
Yeah.
And then he catapulted fast in the fight world, catapulted fast with this,
So, because I know he still fights every now and then, and he's looking to do the YouTube boxing. Is that something you'll be involved with, or?
Well, I'm his coach, so I'm actually going next week to Dubai. We're going to do some pads.
Yeah.
And I hope. For me personally, I'd like him to fight.
Yeah.
Because the good thing, it still keeps him on his toes sharp. It's a great balance for him. He trains daily, so it's not like he's not training.
Yeah.
And some of it, like you put up, you don't have to look great. And it's good when people go, oh, that's rubbish, pad holding or whatever. Yeah, you talk. But then let's fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So looking good and being good is two things.
It's two different things.
And so I hope they can put a deal together. I don't think Andrew obviously will jump into it straight away. Everything would have to be set up. So and inshallah, I hope they do, it will probably half a year or something.
Yeah.
Because I know him, he would want to train properly, prepare. We're going in there to knock him out. There's no way.
Yeah.
And that's it really, yeah. And Andrew can do it, and I watched, because originally there was some talks about it. So I obviously, as a coach, I watched hours of all how he trains the opponent, how they do and whatever. So I was ready with the game plan in my head, and I'm ready. So as a coach, we are coming in there for the kill, as I say.
Yes.
One shot, one kill, sniper school, yeah.
Nah, I like that.
And Andrew is good there, he's very unorthodox. He can hit you from any angle.
Yeah.
And I know him, he won't say yes unless everything's in place and he trains hard. Obviously, on a financial way, he's very busy with all of his he runs an empire. People don't understand. Yeah. It's not just everything you hear and see. It's way more, way bigger. Yeah. And I'm really happy for him, along the way.
I'm glad.
But it'd be good to have. So I'm going over. We're going to do some pets talk and take it from there. I guess.
That'd be cool.
I mean, you can see all the videos everywhere. I got so many messages. Is it on, bro? I don't know. If it's on, you'll hear it.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, of course.
Even
you just have to wait and see.
Even if, some of it. Sometimes you can't say and tell everyone everything. And sometimes, what's the point?
Yeah,
and I do think, generally, it'd be a great thing if they do fight. Financially, for both of them, they could kill it more than any fight nearly ever, like Thriller in Dubai, not Manila, because them, especially in that part now as well with Andrew's conversion and stuff you're talking, it's double the amount of eyes on him. That's why everything is happening down there, isn't it? And also they support it really, the sport, they grow, they put into the infrastructure. Dubai is a megalodon in that respect.
I mean, this is one thing I wanted to touch up on. One thing you said earlier, when you said, I don't feel like I could change the world, I couldn't do anything. But don't you think with what you've done, and let's say people like Andrew and all the other champions, they're sort of like your legacy kind of thing. So even with Andrew now, he talks about a lot of serious stuff, in terms of the system and everything, the way they've had to they've shut him down and banned him on all these social platforms. that's him actually changing the world, and you have a part to play in that kind of thing. So
Look,
how do you feel?
Yeah. But with that part, obviously, as he calls it, the Matrix and stuff. You shut him. They shut him down in their world. But like, what's Andrew's second statement? It's called the real world. Yeah, that's not the real world. What they do, they're living online, and most of those geeks that are behind all these things. And no disrespect to geeks, but these they think, or as Andrew actually calls them, beta males. Never ever did a weak man rule any kingdom or anything, or it didn't last. So the same with this, it won't last. And you can't, like, a lot of young people are also waking up because, look, you can't tell me what I should think. I don't want to accept that. Same like with food, you know. If you are allergic to like you have dairy, whatever, or have some sort of problems with meat, or you don't eat it because of that reason, but not because someone tells you. Imagine someone tells you you really shouldn't be eating meat, but they actually force you to eat meat. No way. So he's on the right way, path. Obviously, as a business, they didn't shut down shit. Excuse my French. They just literally exploded it. And again, going to Andrew's genius mind and chess, and a bit like chess, you know, he's always a few steps ahead. So it's a bit like special forces, isn't it? If someone, this is you go. This is how what's planned. Plan 99.9% never works out. So you just adapt. And you go, and he adapted very well. He personally was deplatformed, yes, like with his own personal Facebook and whatever else he had. But as in him being present globally, even more.
He's bigger than he was
shot
before.
Himself in their own foot, you know. And he played it quite smart. And again, it's a shame though, because we should be sitting here and debating. Like, I like it. I don't mind like talking, saying my mind, and you can always prove me wrong if I'm wrong. But then also we can agree to disagree. And it shouldn't go out of, he's bad, this, he's that. That's just totally stupid. You're taking, as Andrew says, one narrative and you push it so hard. No. So I'm happy for him, you know. And I hope, obviously, he gets to do what he gets to do. And and Andrew is a person as well. Like, look, he made it. Everyone around him is making it. You can't see anyone who stuck to him and who's true friends and stuff. I mean, they even tried to bribe some of his ex-girlfriends and stuff. And so, and then no one tells anything. You're blowing up. What is it? Maybe there's 100 anti-Tate videos, 100 maybe. That's all you see. So if it's really so bad, pardon me, where's those millions of people that are so against it? It's not, because everyone else is okay. You know, what's wrong with having values? Those are my values. You don't have to agree with it, of course. Even like, was it Piers Morgan, the second interview? Like, totally different. And he agrees with some of his stuff. And it is what it is, you know. So,
and like
fair play to him.
We got to differentiate, like you said, the Matrix from the real world. Because in the real world, people have real emotions, real opinions. And, you know, there's not really this stigma kind of thing that you see online kind of thing.
If you sometimes watch some of the old movies, you see the king or the princess or the queen, they dress normally and go between the people to hear what they say. So they change or improve stuff. Nowadays, these guys, they don't go anywhere. And like with somebody, they have no clue. You can't understand me. As you talked earlier, you know, being shot and about all the horrendous stuff that happens. And I understand. You don't understand. You haven't seen it. You haven't been there. So don't pretend like you do or don't. And these guys, it's just a different world, unfortunately. And it's not, people don't want that much. Really? You know, it's not that much. Come on, man. You are 4 years in power. Change something. What do you mean you raise my electricity bill from £100 to £1,000? It's okay for you. You make millions. But then again, share some. And also comes back to the other thing, is which Andrew mentions a lot. And I agree with it totally. Well, the religion is out of it. They don't fear God. They don't fear no repercussions. And, you know, like, if you're a thief, you're a thief. You don't believe in that. You just believe in the pocket and how much more you can get. And the greed will never end until literally, like, everyone believes and is fearful of God. I don't think kind of like, it's not that it will get better. It always has to get always sunny after the rain. But also people who can't and shouldn't give up. I mean, I was surrounded in difficult situations. I never once it crossed my mind to kill myself. It's haram anyway in our religion, and not even like I can't explain you, like, you know, not for, it's more for off screen really story, and like no way, like no. Never. And when you don't have something strong to hold on or to believe in either, it's very difficult to. But then again, you know, like it's not something to like go around and preach and look at me. I'm a great believer and like tell everyone everything what to do.
You
That's
gotta
not good.
know it
That's,
in your heart. Yeah.
that's haram. That's whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a bad Christian or you're a bad, let's say, a Jewish person. No, man. Just you know, it's between you and God.
So I mean, what's your end goal with, let's say, Storm Gym and your personal empire? Where do you want to take things?
Well, it's a legacy, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
like my fight name was Bosnian Storm when I came first, because that's how I fight. And look, professionally, amateur, whatever, you win, you lose. It's that you keep on going on, no matter what. You fall many times in life, you know. That's especially also like our old people said, like we fall many times. Also, as a Muslim, you have to get up and keep on going and believe it's better tomorrow. And then I like to think legacy-wise to people to remember, you know, it's like, yeah, great coach, great person, even better person, number one. I had a lot of help from a lot of people. I'm not self-made or something. It's all, you can't become great without great people around you. And I for me, from my heart, that's what I would like to thank everyone who had a part of my life, and mainly literally my family and my mother. You know, my mother is my number one. Everyone knows how much I talk to her every day, 4 to 8 hours. She's back home, Bosnia.
Yeah.
And that's my number one inspiration. She's the one who always said, be good, help. And Storm Gym wise, we are exponentially growing all the time. And it doesn't really matter where you train. As I said, I trained world champions in a garage in Bosnia in war. And alhamdulillah, you know, just like work, results speak louder than words. No point bragging and talking. People know. And we are well known anyway, entity, or I am as well as a coach. All my coaches are with me for a long time. And, you know, it's another thing brings as well, like a bit honesty and decency and loyalty. And you can take something today, but will it be there tomorrow? You never know. So you know, just live a good life and don't like to think like hold on grudges and stuff. Just God knows best, and that's it. Keep on going.
Appreciate that, man.
Being a good person and just be a good person, really.
I normally ask this question towards the end of the interviews, but the first one is, what advice would you give to any non-Muslims in general about Islam, maybe about life? What advice would you give to them?
I think everyone should educate themselves more, not just non-Muslims. Muslims should also educate themselves about,
because that was going to be my second question.
Christianity and vice versa. Because sometimes everyone, the way it works, they're just separating. But my neighbor cooks, they bring you a cake, and for example, for Eid and doing fasting, doing Ramadan, it's a beautiful time. And even all the Muslims are more mellow. For me personally, I like you to be the same for the whole year.
The whole year.
Because you're not. And so there's something like, have that Deen in you and keep on, you know, as we say back home, like you have to be merhametli. Continue being good. And non-Muslim wise, you know, like there's a lot of, obviously we are branded very badly. And a lot of people are surprised with me when I say I'm Muslim. I said, look, you know how many white Muslims there are, like just in ex-Soviet Union and around Moscow, like everywhere. You got Muslims everywhere. Same like you have Christians everywhere, you know, Jewish, Buddhist, Catholic, whatever. It's not like, why are you so surprised? But people don't know. And I like to think that everyone is a bit more tolerant in respect and appreciate everyone's. You can't say, let's say, covered woman, Muslim woman, face open, looks bad, but then what about, let's say, Catholic nun then? You don't see it the same way, why not? But then again, it's also because of the media.
Media propaganda.
I generally also, like, always go to the taxi drivers, let's say in Luton. I use the taxis a lot, and I say always, smile, bro. Be nice. Don't smell. Don't tell me you pray 5 times, you stink. You know, like, literally come in the car and you can't breathe. So it's different things. And, you know, you face of Islam as well, like, yes, get out of the car and open the door for the lady. Put the stuff in, you know, sometimes some little things, open the door, smile. It doesn't matter where you're from. You have to be a good person.
I think
so and so. I'm not like, nah.
Because I mean, we always say, innit, like that, don't follow Muslims, because Muslims can be good, can be bad. Follow the Quran, innit. If you want to know something, read it for yourself. Understand it for yourself. Obviously, if you don't understand, then you speak to a sheikh or whatever. But read it for yourself.
Sometimes. Like, go research, look at it. Don't go talking about it like you now know everything. There's so much really to learn, you know. And I'm old, and like literally in that respect, I'm going to be 52. And like, there's so much, man. It's like literally there's no stuff, and you know, like
Yeah.
new things being found out. And
Because you know how I see it, Amir, yeah? Like, you can never force someone. Even in Islam says you can't force religion on someone.
that's it.
But for me, what I know, I always try and advise. Because, you know, if I see something good,
Yeah.
like, let's say if I see there's gold over there, I'll tell my friends, yo, I see some gold over there.
Yeah,
Come,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'll
Sharing
never
is
force
caring,
it.
isn't
Sharing
it?
is caring.
It's
So
the
I'd always
same,
advise, and I would always just, you know what I mean? But it's up to the individual to
Look,
accept.
religiously, if you go back anyway, in the even in the Western world, like when you look at the Ten Commandments, they all still come from the Middle East in a way. So globally, when you look at it, no religion tells you to do like bad stuff. Yeah, yeah. In certain situations, maybe they have their own
Interpretation.
doctrine or
Yeah.
interpretation of what you should do in case you get attacked. Of course, because the world, the real world, is not all whatever how you call it, flowers and
Yeah, sunshine and
yeah,
rainbows.
sunshine and
Yeah.
flowers. It's unfortunately brutal. And which again, going to Andrew, you know, he touches that. Yeah, you can't walk around in some parts of the world with a £1 million watch, for example,
Yeah.
and not get robbed or killed. And then that's bad.
Yeah.
When actually we are apparently contributing to so much money is going into our protection and our everything. And then, but then again, that's not no one's fault. It's the bad person's fault. And somewhere the links sever in the childhood or whatever, in teenagehood, if you like that. And it is what it is, you know.
Inshallah, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Brother Amir, is there any final words you want to share with the people before we wrap this up?
Now, if anyone wants to train, obviously, more
You
than
know,
welcome.
Yeah.
It overall just be good people, you know. And I don't really care where anyone trains as long as they train. All the gyms in Luton are doing great. Alhamdulillah, you know, I'm happy for all of them. As I say, I know everyone. Boxing, we're all doing results. And yeah, go train. Some people don't like to travel too much. If they do like to travel, whatever, it's fine, and travel wherever. But find something in your area. You type in on Google martial arts in Luton, kickboxing, whatever you want to do. There's plenty of places to train in.
Yeah.
I will not personally advertise my gym today because, again, as I said, depends. You might not want to go from Bury Park to, let's say, town centre, rather train somewhere. So see what's closest. I always suggest with martial arts, go to several places, see where it suits you. And that's it, really.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Jazakallah
Most
khair.
welcome, I would say.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Salam.
Take care.
Hey, drink some water.